What's going on, and welcome back to another less than 5-minute gear review. And in this video, we're going to be going over the Eagle Industries TREC deployment bag or rolling duffel. Now, this guy is going to come in a couple of different configurations when it comes to the size. You can get it in a small, medium, and long, and then you can also get it with or without pockets, and then with or without the frame. So you do have some options when it comes to the configuration. The amount of gear that you're trying to carry around, roll around, or travel with is going to really dictate what you want to get when it comes to the size, because it does have a lot of space for not only your plate carrier and belt or body armor and helmet and all of that, but it does have a lot of space for a lot of additional equipment when it comes to administrative stuff, extra pouches, clothing, boots, shoes, whatever you want to throw in this. You can actually throw quite a bit of equipment just in this medium one. So with that, when it comes to the price tag for this guy, it's going to depend on how you want to configure it. It's going to cost you anywhere from a low like $100 for like a small bag without the frame to the upwards of $350, sometimes even $400 for really good and in great shape bag that is with the frame, the bag, and the pockets on the bag as well. So you do have some options when it comes to the configuration, but you do have to think about the price tag that's going to be associated with that. So what you see here is more of the medium size with the pockets and, like I said, with the frame. So I'm going to go over this so that way you can see what it looks like and how it's configured, and then help you determine whether or not you want to get this in comparison to the tactical tailor rolling duffel bag, or like a smaller bag from SoTech Gear or Special Operations Technologies, and if you want to get one of those smaller bags that you can get from them. So with that, I'm going to dive right into this, guys. When it comes to the setup and configuration of this, you have pretty much 4 handles on the top. You have a top handle and a bottom handle, and then you have your 2 side handles with your Velcro connector in the middle, and then you also have a handle or drag handle up at top, so that way when you're rolling this guy around or just dragging it, you have the ability to roll that around with some ease. You also have these straps up top to help keep everything tight and restrained, I guess you could call it, and make sure that nothing is going to come out of this bag. The zippers aren't going to bust open, and it keeps everything in place where it needs to be. When it comes to the back side of this, you do have the frame on this back side, and it's going to go through this entire back panel. You have your wheels, and then it will Velcro into the bottom as well. And then you have your shoulder straps. Now, this is one of the nice features about this bag in comparison to the TAC Tailor. If you want to carry this in a backpack configuration, you do have that option. So with that, I mean, just think about what you want to do, how much gear you're carrying, because it may or may not be a selling factor for you. You may want the frame because you're going to be carrying a lot of stuff. So with that, I want to go through some of the pockets so that way you can see what's going on with the pockets. You have this admin pocket up top, and it's great for paperwork, being able to throw whatever you need in there for travel documents, passports, identification, orders, whatever the case may be. You have the ability to throw that up in this pocket, and like you can see, it's just a simple pocket. Nothing's in there. It's just a pocket for those documents. And then you have a large pocket, like you can see on the bottom, that runs the entire length of the entire bag. So that's going to give you the ability to carry all sorts of gear when it comes down to it. I usually throw sometimes clothing in there, but if I have larger items or tools that I need to carry with me, I'll throw them in here, so then that way I have the extra space and they can all fit in there as needed. And then on the opposite side, you have your 2 larger pockets, or I shouldn't say larger, smaller pockets for smaller gear. So if you want to throw pouches, administrative stuff in here, whatever it is that you can possibly think of that you need to deploy with for your mission and the environment that you may be in, you have these smaller pockets on this side to be able to throw that equipment in there and store it properly. So you do have that option as well. And then when it comes to the main pocket, it's going to be the big selling point, and I'll show you how much space you really have with this. So when it comes to this main pocket, you have a lot of space. So you can fit a plate carrier, belt, helmet, the regular Army's IOTV. You can fit a lot of gear into this giant pocket. And as you can see, with this IOTV that I actually have right here, you have quite a bit of space to be able to throw this entire thing in there. Now, whether you leave it completely open like I have it and configured right now, or if you want to fold this up, you have quite a bit of space to drop that in there with your soft body that's in there with the hard plates. If you want to throw your tap system, if you get issued the tap system, you can throw that in there. You can dump all of your pouches into this guy when it comes down to it and still have quite a bit of space. Now I'm not going to try and organize all of this so that way you guys can see what it's all like, but you can see even when like stuff all that stuff into the corner, you got a lot of space. And then on top of that, if you want to throw your helmet in there as well, throw it on this top side, you can throw your helmet in there. And then if you guys are required to wear your DAPs and TAPs and neck protector and back protector and groin protector, you got all that you can throw in there as well. So you can see you have a ton of space for this thing, and you can fit everything that you need and still have plenty of space for clothes. Now, granted, I'm trying to get through this entire video, so throwing this stuff in there is just the convenient thing. But I want you to see, even when you're just tossing stuff in here, especially if like you're on a GRS or whatever and you're getting ready to blow out because something's happened in the world and you have to get to someplace in the world rather quickly, you can just throw all your stuff in here and be good to go and still have plenty of space for clothes and uniforms and so on. So take that into consideration when it comes to whether or not you want to be real neat with this or if you just want to throw everything in there all at once. But you do have some space when it comes down to it. Now, if you're in the regular Army and you have to carry all of that gear, that's one thing to take into consideration. But if you're in SOF and your kit's a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller, you don't have as much, you can throw your helmet in there and your plate carrier as well. Now I have only small stuff, or I shouldn't say I only have small stuff. I have a small plate carrier. I have a pretty lightweight and streamlined belt, so I don't really have to worry about a whole lot when it comes to all that I'm carrying and what I can configure in this. But you can see between the plate carrier, my helmet, and my belt, I've barely taken up half the bag. So you have a lot of space for everything else that you need with this bag. Now, when it comes to comparing this bag to the Tactical Tailor is going to be a little bit more narrow. This guy's a little bit wider. You do have, I'm not going to say you have additional pockets, but the pockets are configured in different places. So definitely take a look at the Tactical Tailor bag in comparison, so that way you can see what bags or what each bag has to offer in comparison to the other, to help you determine on whether or not the bag, this bag, the Eagle Industry, or the Tac Tailor, or maybe even the SO Tech bags are going to be the best suited for you and your mission and environment. So with that, if you have any questions, please feel free. Sorry I went over on a little bit of time. I kind of wanted to show you a little bit of a configuration of how this entire system goes together, what it looks like when it's all set up. But with that, if you have any questions, please feel free, leave a comment. We'll answer any questions that you have. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.